You're romantic.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm romantic to the bone, and I was like almost, ready to marry her and have kids. But she said to me over Skype, Dima, what are we gonna do with you back home? I'm like, what do you mean? What are we gonna do? Live life? I was learning English. I was watching a lot of movies with subtitles and writing down every word that I didn't know and
looking it up.
Yeah. Started asking around. Found out about college in Canada. Applied. Got my visa, and that's how I ended up in Canada.
So that was in 2012. Welcome back to Vibes and Visas with me, your host Charlie Karomi, and the one, the only Dima. What's up, Dima? Dima is a tattoo artist and pretty cool guy who lives in the city of Nanaimo on British Columbia on Vancouver Island. How do you like Nanaimo?
I love it.
You love it?
I love Nanaimo. I love the island. Feels like home. Feels like a place to be, and it's
It's beautiful.
Can't advertise it enough.
Before we went for the break, you told us a story. Lived in Ukraine, studied and worked in Ukraine until you were 21.
Came to Canada, to Vancouver.
2012, you came to Canada, to Vancouver. Wait, let me ask, in terms of because this is usually another thing for immigrants, like finding airfare and finding visas and all of that. Was that really difficult for you, or how did you find that process?
Well, I had a bit of help because the girl I contacted who was in Canada at the time, she gave me contacts of local people in my hometown.
Yeah.
Because she was from my hometown. She studied in the same Sumy State University as I did, but I think she studied either economics or languages, something like that. She knew a couple of ladies who were working in the office of some tour agency.
Yeah.
But because they were working with a tour agency, they were dealing with all this visa application processes, so they knew the drill. And I just came to the office, brought them chocolate candies and asked for help, and they just pretty much set me up and gave me bullet points, the documents I need, the things I need to do in order to get the visa. And so I got all that done and got approved for first attempt, first try. I went to Kiev, to the embassy, dropped my paperwork, and it was approved right away.
What about you had to apply for the school? You had to apply to the school before they approved you. What about school fees and all of that? Was that difficult to raise? And the flights as well, because that's usually flights, fees.
Yeah, of course, it's big money. I didn't have those money, just laying in my pocket. It was kind of a family fund. Whatever leftovers we had after selling family property. And honestly, it was kind of lost money we had. And they needed to be invested somewhere. And of course, my mom wanted to invest it in me. She was willing to help me any way she could, and of course poured not just all her love but all her resources into me and into my journey. And just Dima, here's your money, you can use them however you want, buy a flat in your hometown, start a business, whatever you want to go abroad. And I needed to pay for that college, something like 10 grand. Back in the day, right now it's even more expensive.
I can imagine, because 10 grand in 2012,
big money. Big money.
Amazing, your mom helping you out. That's beautiful. Investing in her son because she saw that.
My godmother even borrowed me a couple grand.
That's beautiful.
And then I came to Canada. I went working jobs, and I saved up, and I sent that money back to her in the first year. Real quick.
So you landed in Canada in 2012. What part? You came to Vancouver?
Vancouver.
What was your first thought when you landed in Vancouver? Because it's not Sumy anymore.
No, not
Sumy.
It ain't Kansas no more. Yeah, cultural shock, man.
Is Vancouver bigger than Kiev? Because Kiev is was that the biggest city you'd ever been to?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was Vancouver bigger than Kiev?
I'm not sure how to compare because kind of the layout is different of the cities. The way to get around in the city is different. And all the kind of, zoning, there's infrastructure, there's like historical part, there's downtown, there's this and that. It's just different. It's hard to tell. I'd say they're about the same.
Yeah, about the
I'd
same.
say they're about the same. And if you look at the just number population-wise, I think they kind of pretty close.
Yeah.
But Vancouver, because I think it's spread out more, and because it's like in nature, beautiful, like oceanside and mountains, it feels a little bit less stiff and a little bit more like open. Of course, beautiful, fresh BC air is
Beautiful,
here.
yeah.
And Kiev feels more congested, feels more like a big buzzing city with Vancouver's got SkyTrain, right?
Yeah.
But Kiev got metro, so it's like underground.
Underground, yeah.
So underground, tons of people there. Everywhere is
dark,
very busy.
yeah.
Takes you a long time to get from one place to another. And those areas where it's just residential buildings, those high rises, it's all just boxes.
And Vancouver has curves. It's nice.
Yeah,
It
I'd
has
say
hills
Vancouver is very nice, beautiful, modern city. All those, high rises. You just come in and you feel like you're in the middle of a movie set.
That's true. That's actually
Literally.
true. Someone actually said the thing about Vancouver is a city that plays so many other cities in movies because so many films are shot here. But when they say they're like, oh, this is New York or this is California, but you're like, come on, I know Vancouver and I see it. But you landed in Vancouver, you are impressed. You love the city.
I think at the time I was there, they recently filmed like Transformers in there or something like that. Yeah.
And you saw that, you're like, hey, this is the place. So was Dima impressed with Vancouver the first time?
Oh, I was very impressed. Yeah. It's understatement. I was very impressed. And, you can imagine you're a young person, first time abroad, and your first city abroad that you see, is Vancouver. It's like a postcard of Canada. It's very picturesque. Shocking. And I had a good time there. I lived in Vancouver for almost a year, a little less than a year.
Wait, the day you landed, because I need to know, who picked you up from the airport? Where did you go to live?
College, people from college.
Oh, they had a system where they...
Yeah. They have department in college who deals with international students.
Yeah.
And say this guy, he deals with people from, South America. This guy, he deals with people from Asia. This guy, he deals with people from Europe. From Europe. And so they came to an airport. They picked us up because there was 4 people on my plane who were going from Ukraine to that college.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so they met us, picked us up, dropped us off at the place of our residence. For the first months or 2 months, they found us, a place in Burnaby, a basement we were all renting. And then from then we went kind of on our own, whoever finds where do you find a job, where do you find it easier for transportation and whatnot. That's amazing. That's a pretty soft landing, and it's beautiful because I've heard stories where people went
come
smooth.
through.
I wasn't just thrown in there and what do I do? No, it was nice and organized, and of course they kind of understood that we're a little bit scared, young people in a new country. So we were taken care of, I'd say.
What's the name of the college that you went to, by the way?
And the name of the college is Canadian College. That's the name of it.
Wait, like Canadian College?
Canadian College, that's the name of it. It's on Alberta Street in Vancouver.
Nice!
Yeah, so I took hospitality management.
So, we've come from electronics to hospitality management.
No connection. No connection whatsoever. Just random things.
Just random things.
Both of them didn't stuck with me, as you can tell, because
hospitality is more hotels and everything.
Yeah.
How was that? How long did you do that course for?
A year. Yeah.
Okay. Did you enjoy it? And did it, at least tell me it gave you your first job or something?
No, it didn't give me my first job, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the environment more than the study itself, because you're just in contact with a lot of people from different countries, and that also it was like so exciting to be able to express yourself and to hear somebody else out. And like I had a friend, a girl from Japan, and I was mind blown. She's from Japan, I'm from Ukraine. We met in Vancouver and we exchanged our experiences and thoughts and information, and she took me to a Japanese restaurant and told me, hey Dima, you know, Japan cuisine is not just sushi. And so we tried so many different things.
Sake. Wait, I actually do not know anything apart from sushi. That's all the Japanese food I know.
There you go. And so many people are, but it's just, you know, one of the things that are there. A lot of seafood, of course, because it's an island on the Pacific too.
Yeah. Okay, that's beautiful. The exchange of ideas and cultures. That was
something new to me that I haven't had in Ukraine, because all the people I were in contact with in Ukraine were Ukrainians or like, you know.
So you get to see another side of the world through someone else's eyes. That is beautiful. So a year at Canadian college, you leave. What do you do? Do you start drawing tattoos immediately, or how?
Oh no, that came later. That came way later.
When did you start your tattoo business?
Up north in the Yukon territory in 2017.
Okay, so now clearly there's a gap. 2013 to 2017. What happened? You're in Vancouver. How do you end up in Yukon? Because Yukon is way up north.
Yeah, well, I started.
And it's very cold, isn't it?
Yeah, it is very cold. That's true. I started dating Juliana, and then.
You haven't told us how you met. How did you and Juliana meet?
In college.
Oh, she also went to Canadian college.
Same college, same program, hospitality.
Ah, nice. Yeah. Did you meet like immediately you landed? Was she one of the people on the plane with you?
No, she wasn't. We met in college.
Yeah.
We met in college, and I just couldn't
2012?
Couldn't take off my eyes off her. She was so beautiful, still is.
Beautiful. And you said, wait, did you mention earlier that you guys opened a joint bank account within a month?
We did.
What was it for? Was it like for dates, or what was the joint bank account? Did you move in within the month?
What was it for? Yeah, we moved in together like months or 2 months after we started dating, and I asked permission from her parents to move in together.
My man, that's how you do.
Exactly.
That's how you do. You gotta respect.
We had a Skype conversation, and I said, hey, we're moving in together, but hey guys, I have very serious intention. I love your daughter and all that. So
how did that was like her dad and her mom?
No, we got their blessings. It was all good. Okay. Yeah, they go as long as you're have serious intention and you're a nice guy. They the way the best way you make sure. You can't make sure, but over distance, you can only just ask questions and be relying on the other people, being honest. And I turned out to be an honest guy. I married her.
You, yeah. Oh, but that's.
I don't remember. I think we did the joint bank account because we thought it's gonna be easier in the future for immigration purposes, and like if you need to kind of proof that you're together, and it turned out to be our story because we got married, and then we got later on down the road we got our immigration done, and I was Juliana's spouse, and I immigrated as Juliana's spouse because we were legally
together. And actually, now that you mentioned that, even for my wife and I, when we were moving here, like to process my papers, I came in as Melissa's spouse.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things, like, you need to sort of prove that you guys are together. So one of the things is a financial statement. If you have a joint bank account, joint bills, or things like that. So that did
addresses, bills, bank accounts, all those things.
That did actually help. That was actually very clever. Nice. Whose idea was it? It was Juliana?
Mine.
Of course.
Mine.
Are you sure? It was yours?
Yeah.
But I like, just to point out, I like what you did in asking Juliana's folks, because I feel like the act of moving in together is it's a big decision. It's not one to be taken lightly.
Yeah.
And I guess when you do go the extra mile of asking someone's folks, That even proves to you that you're being serious.
Of course.
Yeah, because you can't joke around. You can't just call up someone's parents. That's being serious.
And about the joint bank account again, I just thought it's gonna be easier to manage finances because from now on we gotta, buy food for two of us. We're gonna pay bills for two of us, and you know what? From the start, we never had any like money issues. Like, oh, this is my money, this is your money. I'm gonna go spend them the way I want. You're gonna go spend them the way you want. No, nothing like that. We do everything together.
It's one pool
as a unit.
That's beautiful. You guys were destined from the start. That was it. So you get married in 2014 or 2013? 14. And we met in Vancouver, but then we moved to Edmonton. That's in
Alberta. Yeah. Edmonton, capital of Alberta. Yes, we moved to Alberta chasing our immigration because we heard at the time and had the idea that it's going to be easier in Alberta than BC because every province has different immigration rules. And back at the time, there were things, it was called like LMO, LMIA, it's labor market, something, blah, blah, blah.
So if a province needs more people who work in this sector, they hire more immigrants and help more people to come in.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so at that time, it was easier to do in Alberta than BC. We went to Alberta, started working jobs, got employed, got our contracts, work permits with employers, and we're kind of on this track for immigration. But the rules kept on changing always. And that didn't work out. It didn't work out in
Alberta. In Alberta, yeah.
And that's why we moved to Yukon.
What job were you doing in Alberta?
All kinds of jobs, whatever we could find. Serving, food counter attendant. I was working construction for a bit at the end. When you're an immigrant in a new country and you don't have like a strong skill set for a specific field that you can work at, you just gotta take on anything because you gotta pay bills. You gotta, bring bread on the table.
To the table.
Yeah. So. Yeah, you work all jobs, you get whatever experience kind of you can, and that also gives you understanding of how different fields work because you not only, if you're smart, and you're smart, you gotta be smart, you not only just do your duties and go home, but you observe how things are done on the next level. Like what does your manager do? What does the owner of the company do? How it all works, how the connections works, like there's suppliers, there's legal part of the business, there's all those things.
Yeah, and that's where you want to end up.
And you just get life experience, right? And then we moved up north because the choice was either move up north to the Yukon or move west coast to Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
At that time, Juliana did her research. Those provinces had the best immigration programs, provincial programs. And so we went up north to the Yukon simply because it's more felt more romantic. I'm a romantic guy, so it felt more romantic. Go up north in the Great White North, where the stories of Jack London were happening. Jack London is a very popular author in Ukraine.
Yeah.
Because it's so exotic, right? It's far away, Canada.
Jack London.
North, Jack London. Oh. And so, you know what? We ended up visiting Jack London's cabin in Dawson City, Yukon. It was pretty cool.
Wait, so
in a Klondike.
You go to Yukon. I've never been. Is it just all snow and all ice, or how is the Yukon?
Okay, Yukon, I tell you, is 9 months of snow and ice and 3 months of beautiful summer.
So 9 and okay, that's pretty much it. That's the Yukon.
Yeah.
What city did you settle in Yukon?
Oh, there's just one city, man. Whitehorse, Yukon, the capital.
Whitehorse.
Yeah.
That's where you settled.
Yeah, that's the city. The rest are kind of
town
villages and small towns. Like second largest one is Dawson City, and it's about 2,500 people only, so a little under 3,000 people. And Whitehorse, 25,000 people, something like that.
So you guys moved there because they had more, a bit easier in their immigration processes. Was that did that idea pan out for you?
No.
Come on.
We ended up immigrating while living in Yukon, but not because Yukon immigration program, but federal immigration program.
Okay.
And being in Yukon helped us in a way that we could get jobs and be trained for skilled positions with a bigger chance than would be down south in Alberta or BC.
Yeah.
So they don't have many people there, so that's why they're willing to hire you and train you, and you get a nice job, and with that job you get your points for immigration program, and you go pass your language test, something else, medical test, yada yada. You get all those points, and you sit in the pool waiting for the points to drop to your level where you at.
And then boom.
And then you're in there, and then you're pretty much set to be a successful PR. Card owner.
Because then you're on work permit, you're gathering up points to become a permanent resident, which is the path to citizenship. What you mentioned that you guys were getting training like in the skilled courses. What skilled course did you take?
So Juliana ended up working in the field. She got education, Canadian education, hospitality. She managed a hotel up north.
Ooh.
She was a hotel manager. Like first she was a front office manager, but then she got trained. By the end, she got trained in general manager. So eventually she knew how to manage a hotel, how things work, operate, what to do in this case, in this case, in this case. She's very smart too, and observant, and she was good there. It was a good place, but then. As more as corporates starting to have a grip on her, and she understood, okay, that's the path of my life. I work in a corporate, I go up this ladder, and eventually you might get transferred to a bigger city, bigger hotel, get a raise and all that. But it's also kind of limits you in what you can do, because there's nothing else that you can do. You can just manage a hotel.
Like that's your path.
And that felt like a boring life to her. She wanted something more independent and something more creative. So eventually that led her to opening her own business doing tattoos. And then she got me into tattooing. I learned it from scratch from her. A lot of self-learning, so self-taught, and.
Wait, so Juliana started...
That's the start of our path, of our career.
Juliana started the artistry before you did?
Well, her mom is an artist. She's been exposed to art her whole life. She's been hanging out at the art school for, doing her homework, sitting there after school. And of course, it's in the blood, right? There's certain skill set, or you lean towards a certain field. So for her it's art.
It was
and up north in the Yukon, it will be true to say that it's very inspiring to be surrounded by nature, and that's when you open up your inner kind of creativity and resources, if you have them.
Because you're tapped into the earth at that point.
Very much. And she felt inspired, and she started doodling lots, and she started getting commands from people that, hey, your kind of doodles look like tattoo designs, and she's like, interesting idea. And she, her mom, gifted her. She paid for that the quick tattoo course she took. Just to
still in Yukon.
No. She went to Toronto for that. She went to Toronto, to one of the tattoo studios in Toronto to learn and to get her kind of foot in this world of tattooing, because it is a good question. How does one get into tattooing? How do we start? Well,
not just the drawing, the instruments, the business as well. There's a lot.
There's a whole bunch of very specific knowledge to tattoo industry. Art, you can make art, whatever, digital art on the canvas, whatever. You're just an artist working with different materials in mediums, but tattooing is something totally different, and not all successful artists can become tattoo artists, because it's not just making art, it's this holding the machine, working with skin, working with people, and a whole bunch of things, and setting the business side of it, and doing advertisement, going to social media. There's a lot.
When she went to Toronto, were you guys married already?
Yeah, of course.
Did you go with her, or did you stay in Yukon?
No, I stayed in the Yukon.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay. For how long? How long were you guys apart?
Not long. It was just a couple weeks.
Couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. So she went, studied tattoo artistry. Is that the name? Is it tattoo artistry or is it tattooing?
Tattooing, tattoo art.
Tattoo art. And then she came back. Is that when you guys decided to move back from the Yukon?
No. We were, at the time, we loved living up north in the Yukon, and we were kind of leaning towards settling down in the Yukon. But then eventually we spent there 4 years, but I say we spent there 4 winters because it's winters that count. And we didn't go anywhere, so that felt like we got stuck there in that perpetual winter, in the darkness and in the cold, and we just started missing those nice kind of plants and trees and flowers and warmth. And in BC and Vancouver Island, summer is a little longer. You have a few months to enjoy it, from May to September, even early October. It's nice and warm and sunny and beautiful. In Yukon, because it's northern, that summer is shorter.
It's squished in,
and you wait for it the whole winter, and it comes and goes in a blink of an eye.
So quick.
And summer is when people go get tattoos, so you're kind of always busy. You don't have much time to go explore just your weekends, but hey, there's only that many weekends in Yukon summer. So it felt like we want more
time to actually both work and also do your own personal life thing. Have your own personal time.
And that's what led us eventually to Vancouver Island, to Nanaimo. We specifically kind of did our research and looked for the place. Good place, climate, location, opportunities for our business, because it was a little bit scary and intimidating to move, say, to Vancouver, because there's so many places in Vancouver, so many artists, so many tattooers, and it felt like it would be hard to get into the niche. Right now I think it probably wouldn't, but at the time
because you've built
we were just beginners, and we decided, hey, let's move to maybe a little bit smaller town, so then we can get started, get going. And Nanaimo was a wonderful choice. We're happy with it.
So, okay, I like where we are now. I feel like this should be the end of part 2, because we've gotten to the point. At this point in the story, Juliana and Dima have gotten married. Have you guys gotten your kids yet?
No.
Because right now you have 2 beautiful babies.
Yes, we do.
2 beautiful kids. You've gotten your PR. You've gotten married. You've gotten married first. You got your PR. You've started the business, and you've thought, you know what? We want to move to Nanaimo. Somewhere a bit warmer, somewhere a bit nicer.
Yeah, ocean and mountains, and sounds way too good.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so let's do a quick pause here. That's the end of part 2. Dima will come back, and first you're going to teach me some Ukrainian. By the way, I need to learn some Ukrainian.
Sounds good.
Today. He'll teach me some Ukrainian, and then he'll tell us how things are going now for Dima, for Juliana, for their family, for Red Cat Studios, and his plan for the future here in the land of the maple leaf. Do not go anywhere. Vibes and Visas will be right back.
And now my love for you is so strong.